Real life coming at you today. Today, we're sharing real numbers of our vans that we've bought, our Class B RVs. We want to get into the real details of buying our first van, what we got for trade-in, what we bought this van for, what we would get for this van now. Watch this video before you buy a Class B RV, or actually any RV. And if you're wondering why I'm driving, it's because Bob works full-time, for those that are new here and don't know that. So a lot of times we're weekend warriors, we're weekend travelers, and I will pack up the van and get things ready and go pick them up from work, and then we'll head off and whatnot. And I'm on my way to get them right now, and there's one thing Bob's not going to be happy with me about.
Well, I can hear and smell the chicken that we are baking for dinner in our Wonder Oven. We're trying this new recipe for some juicy baked chicken. Hillary went ahead and planned this for tonight. I'm always a little scared when she plans something because I just don't know what I'm in for. So fortunately, this one was actually fairly straightforward. All we had to do was really take the chicken, put some seasoning on it, covered it with some foil, and threw it in the oven. So we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So far, we've used this oven a couple of different times, and I've been actually thoroughly impressed with it. So I'm excited to see how this one turns out. Now, what's really, I don't know, concerning, but something we need to watch is it's actually starting to get warm here in Phoenix, and so we were running the air conditioning, but there is no way on our 2,000 watt inverter that we, or no, sorry, 3,000 watt inverter that we can run the Wonder Oven plus our air conditioner. Absolutely no way that's gonna work. So we're kind of having to play this game with the temperature. We'll see how that all shakes out in here.
Yeah,
But in the meantime, we've been running the van to help keep the oven, well, it's turning into an oven, to help keep the van cool. But the problem with that is we have almost no gas. The gas light just came on. So we're running
happy
there.
did that make you?
I was like, oh, great. We couldn't have any more excitement for tonight's video. But we're gonna have to watch the gas, make sure that the van stays cool so that we don't sweat to death, and hopefully we don't run out of battery just running the oven and our air conditioner when we can. So let's get into the actual video.
Today, we're talking about something we actually lived through twice. So the real question is, should you sell your van? If you're wanting to sell your van, should you sell it privately or should you trade it in? And what is the financial impact on that decision?
And it can be a costly one.
Yes, it can.
Let's rewind to July 2021 when we purchased our first van. It was a Thor Rise 18T.
Can I stop you right there? Let's play the footage. We were so excited, young, green, and had no idea what we were getting into.
We absolutely had no idea. Oh, you got that even. Oh, that is so cool.
Are we wanting to buy a van today?
I think so. So what do you think? Look at that skylight that's right up there. You can open that.
So you see how excited we were?
Yeah. Yeah, we ended up spending like 85,000-ish.
I think
was
the
sale
van
price.
was listed for 80 or 81,000. They didn't move on the price at all for us.
Nope.
I'm sure there was a big discount. I don't remember what it was, but like the sell price was 81,000, and then they added taxes and fees and everything. I bet you it came out to like $90,000.
That sounds right, because then we also put money down. So
yeah, I think we financed 80,000 because I think we put $10,000 down.
Okay.
If I remember.
That sounds about right. And then we drove it off the lot.
And what happens when you drive it off the lot?
You lose an incredible amount of money the moment those tires pass onto the city street.
Yeah.
It's a shame what you lose.
We'll get into that more later. Let's fast forward to the year 2022. Well, May 2022, when we had another bright idea.
Let's buy a new van.
Let's trade that one in.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We all of a sudden realized, that van, it didn't have a bathroom, and we have videos describing that whole entire thing, so we won't get into all of those details right now, but yeah, we were like, yeah, this van doesn't meet all our needs. Let's buy a new van.
That has everything that we could ever hope and dream.
Again, there's videos for that story also. Well,
We did it.
we did it. It's done.
Oh, so excited.
Oh my gosh. We're the proud new owners of a Tellaro. We go to the dealer and I felt like it was no big deal.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you a new van.
Super easy.
Today, you can leave with your van. And before we get into that, just so you know, that oven is really loud. So I apologize if you can hear the oven.
And it's warming up the entire van.
We have 32 miles left on our gas tank.
That is, yeah. Yeah, we could be
I'm
in some
so
trouble.
sorry. Okay, we gotta hurry then.
Yep.
Okay, getting into May 2022, where we took it into the dealership.
They worked all their magic.
They worked all their magic, and
We left with a new van.
we left with a new van. But here's the important part: how much did we lose?
Oh, geez. So, if I recall correctly, I think the van was listed for like 106.
No.
Oh.
That's this van. I'm
Oh.
saying the trade-in for our other van.
Our trade-in.
So
Well,
we financed 80 at that point. We've already put 10,000 down. They end up offering us $65,000.
yeah. Yep.
So do the math.
We took like a
big loss.
$15,000 loss in addition to the down payment we had.
Yes. 1 year in.
Yep.
Don't do what we did.
So what did we do? We rolled that debt right back into a new van.
Oh,
And so I think the original list price for this van was $106,000.
106,000. Again, they didn't move on the price
Didn't move on the price.
because we were excited and we were like, yes, this is the one we want.
Yep. And then of course we had taxes, fees, down payment, plus the extra debt that we rolled in from our prior van.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why we are still in Mr. Lemon.
What were we thinking? I mean, here's the deal. We got into two vans. And we've been paying this one off, but I think the reason why we're sharing this today is to show you, like, when we do decide to either private sell or trade it in, which we're gonna get into all of that in a moment on what those processes are, because we really looked at the nitty gritty for our van. You're looking at a $20,000 to $30,000 loss.
Yeah, another
Yeah.
$20,000 to $30,000 loss on this van.
Let's get into the reality of trading it in. Let's talk about trading in a van, because you did the research.
Yeah. So the other day, Hillary came to me and said, hey, do some research, find out, what does it take to, like, what's our van worth? What does it take to trade it in or sell it, or, what are our options?
Yeah.
So the very first thing I did is I went out to actually RV Trader, which they have a pretty decent website that you can, kind of anonymously fill in your information, and it'll give you some really good information as far as like, what is it potentially quote unquote worth? What could you trade it in for at the dealership versus private sell? You can select different options. Obviously that's just a starting point. It's just kind of one data point in the process. And then from there, the other thing I was able to do is then go to their website and look, okay, what are some comparable models, both the exact type that we have and kind of some of the other competitors. So, but that was kind of the research I did kind of just initially to understand where we were at.
Yeah. So I think the reality of trading it in is when you go to a dealership and you ask to trade it in, I think that they act like it's going to be easy, simple, clean. It feels like a clean swap.
Yep.
But I think based on even what we've told you, is the chicken done?
I think we need to check on the chicken.
We will be right back.
Pause for intermission.
Do we have a way to check the temperature?
Nope.
Oh no, it looks almost done.
I mean,
Not done.
let's give it 10 minutes and we'll see where we're at.
Like I was saying, it feels like a clean swap, but like Bob said earlier, the minute you drive it off the lot, you lose value. It's like buying a car. It's just not as like clean and like, oh, I'm gonna give you this van and I'm gonna get the new van or whatever.
So I think one of the reasons that kind of like you're saying that, it seems so easy, is you literally are paying for that convenience. So if you walk in and you say, I have rig A I don't want, I want rig B,
Yeah.
I want to leave today. They will make it happen for you. And you will literally pay for it.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things you need to do before you go and make a decision like that and be prepared for.
One last thing before we get into the selling it private, or when you trade it in, dealers, like you said, they do offer like 10 to 25% less on your trade-in than maybe you could get on a private seller.
Yep.
Depending.
But there always is the private seller option, which, depending on your situation, might be a better choice.
Let's go pros and cons to selling privately.
Okay.
I'll start with the cons.
Oops.
It's not easy.
No, it can take a lot of time.
It can take a lot of time. You can get ghosted. You can get like just all like you get a lot of like, you know, people lowballing you,
Right.
and you know, so that's some of the cons to private selling. What are some of the pros?
Some of the pros, if you're patient, you can typically get a higher price than the dealership. But like I said, you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to work through all of the details. But there's just those options out there.
And then I think with a private seller, what I would do is make sure you keep track of everything, you know, all your oil changes, your tire changes, like all the upgrades you've done.
Yeah. Documented on YouTube.
Documented on YouTube.
Maybe you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You have to do all the work of basically convincing somebody to buy it. So like you were saying, you need to have good photos. It needs to be well maintained. I mean, those are things that are just going to make it easier for you to sell and to try to get that top price.
And we have no idea what we're going to do one day. You guys are going to find out with us. One day when we sell Mr. Lemon, we're going to either trade it in our private seller.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, I saw some YouTube videos.
Yeah.
In Alaska, there is a place that they celebrate the 4th of July. 'Cause you can't do fireworks.
Right.
Because it's daylight, literally 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So
in July.
In Alaska, they literally drive vehicles off of a cliff. So I was like,
where is this going?
So maybe we just need to take a little trip to Alaska and we could just donate Mr. Lemon.
To that? Okay. He's not paid off. That would be
true.
That would be the biggest loss ever.
That's true.
So here are some of our tips and tricks, and you know, we just always want to be as just super honest and transparent in our journey, because we wish we would have had something like this.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure there is stuff like this out there. We just didn't probably find
We
it.
didn't stumble onto it.
We
when
did
were
not.
looking.
We did not. So anyways, okay. Number one, the most important thing I think is to know your numbers.
Yes.
And that's what you did.
Yep. So when you are trying to, price up your van and understand what is it worth, there's lots of good options out there. As I said earlier, RV Trader is a great place to go and get some numbers so you can do some comparisons of, what you have, what other people have, how long have they been out there. Obviously, if there's some ridiculous price and it's been out there for years, obviously that's not a real price. So another good place will be Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of options there as well.
Yeah. We've sold a lot of things on Facebook Marketplace, but never a vehicle.
We've sold a couple of vehicles, the kids' stuff.
Oh yeah.
But never an RV. And
true.
I've kind of got mixed thoughts on selling an RV on Marketplace, but you definitely could do it.
Yeah.
And then of course there's the
National Automobile Dealers Association. Have you ever heard of that?
NADA.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard of it, but it sounds like a super great tool that I need to go spend some time and look at.
Yeah, I found that tool and then just told him about it earlier today. Yeah, because there is no Kelley Blue Book for RVs. So I think that's considered the Kelley Blue Book?
Probably.
Correct us if we're wrong.
That would make the most sense.
Yeah. Let us know if you've used it. Okay. Are you hot?
I'm very hot.
Oh my gosh, guys, it's so hot in here. We'll turn the air up a little bit. It might get a little louder in here. We're dying.
Oh man.
It's only 98 degrees outside. We gotta hurry. This is gonna ding, Bob.
I know, literally, you've got seconds.
Number two, get real about the depreciating aspect of an RV, and we've kind of hit on that already.
Yep. Yeah, I think the other thing that you have to be practical about is this is a vehicle, and it's a house. So it's like you get the worst of both. So it's going to depreciate really quick, and
you have a big loan.
And you have a big loan. So
Maybe.
There's just that.
Yeah.
That is the reality of owning these vehicles, is that they do depreciate. Obviously, it's like a car. It depreciates initially a lot, and then it kind of stabilizes. And of course, that's the window when people typically want to sell like we do, like at 3 years. So that's where you're at, kind of the bottom, as far as the difference between value, what you owe, and the depreciating.
Number 3, and this is one that we never thought of doing.
Checking the chicken.
Checking the chicken. Negotiating separately.
Yes. So one thing that we did not do that I would wish I would have done was to actually negotiate separately. And what I mean by that is you want to negotiate first your trade-in value and then your sale price. Don't let them combine those together and negotiate that for you, because you'll be like us and you'll lose the maximum amount of value. So it does make it easier, and it can take a little bit less time, but you end up losing. So I definitely recommend negotiate separately.
Don't use a knife at them. And yeah, so if you're gonna trade it in, if you trade it in.
This chicken looks so good.
No, does it?
It's perfect.
Okay, so then now you want to throw the rice in there and the veggies?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm gonna just cover this and leave it here.
Let it sit. Number 4, if you sell privately, clean it up, make it look great. I kind of already hit up on that, but like have all your records, everything you've done, like include every single thing that you've done. You know, like us, we've taken our beds apart, which might have decreased the value, truthfully. We took apart the bathroom, might have decreased the value, actually. We added new tires, increase. We added all that storage on the back, increase. And so make sure to document everything and include that in your price.
One other thing that I would recommend is make sure you save all of your manuals, both the ones that you get from the dealership when you purchase the vehicle, because they will include everything, you know, your microwave, your stove, your refrigerator, all that stuff. Keep all of those, but also anything that you add to the van, make sure you keep those documents as well, because ultimately when you sell that to somebody, they're going to want that information so that they have it, so that they can do their troubleshooting and whatever. All right, number 5. Don't rush. That is definitely one of the things that we struggled with the most in both of our purchases, but don't let the fear of missing out, FOMO, get the best of you. Take your time, make sure you're making a good decision, sleep on it, and just really be prepared, and you'll be all right.
We hope.
You'll be fine.
Up the windows, we turned off the van because Mr. Bob.
I'm super nervous because we're gonna run out of gas.
Just to eat dinner?
Just so we can eat dinner.
If we could go back, would we do things differently?
Absolutely.
Yes, we would do things differently, but goodness, it's so hard to say. Like, I don't regret anything.
No, I wouldn't change the decision. Well, I would change the details, not the choice.
How we did it.
Yes.
How we did it. We would change, but okay.
Look
so,
at this.
Guys, can you see? I don't even know.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I outdid myself.
Yeah, you did.
And I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with the Wonder Oven. It did a really nice job baking the chicken, and it was quick.
All right, so let us know in the comments. Have you sold a van? How did you sell it? Or an RV? I mean, I say van because we have one, but any RV.
Yeah.
If you did sell it, how did you do it? What did you use? What was your experience? Like, help us to make our next decision even better, and help the people in the comments to make
a good choice.
Good choice, because we really value your expertise. And we have a lot of people that watch our channel that have had like lots of RVs.
Yes.
And so teach us your ways so that we all can make the best decisions possible.
Yep. That way we can all enjoy the benefits of having a van or an RV, traveling.
Yeah.
Just do your homework, be patient.
Yeah.
And be prepared.
I would call these our honest lessons from the road.
Yes. I love that.
Do you guys want more honest lessons from the road?
I need some.
I do too. So, all right, let's try this chicken.
All right, let's do it. Not bad.
Wow. That was very good.
Done and done.
You did good.
Wait for you to stop chewing.
No.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
All right. Until next time.
I'm eating.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. We'll let you know if we make it to the gas station.
Fingers crossed we make it with no problems. Hillary's pushing otherwise.
It's my fault.
I love a good adventure, but never would I volunteer to drive my